The 24th Separate Mechanized Brigade, named after King Daniel, showed some of the Russian paratroopers who surrendered near Chasiv Yar. The brigade emphasized that the prisoners are not in any danger. One of the groups of fighters from the 98th Airborne Division of the Russian Federation, who were going to storm Chasov Yar, realized that their commanders had sent them to be slaughtered and surrendered to Ukrainian captivity. The brigade noted, the brigade emphasized that the prisoners are treated in accordance with international law. They are fed, given water, allowed to smoke and rest, without beatings, torture, or humiliation, the brigade emphasized. They also note that captivity is the only chance for a Russian attack aircraft to survive and return home. The brigade showed photos of prisoners. Many of the prisoners have numerous tattoos, which are usually done by people in Russian prisons. The captured soldiers themselves admitted they were exhausted, demoralized, and had no understanding of what they were fighting for. Ukrainian forces also addressed the families of the Russian military. Your loved ones have preserved their lives. They are being held in proper conditions, receiving food and medical care. Tell your fellow citizens, Ukraine is not a place for reforming Russians. No one is re-educated here. They are eliminated, and the only chance for those already at war is to surrender to Ukrainian captivity in order to stay alive and return home. Earlier, Ukrainian forces captured 2 Russians on the Pokrovsk front. Both enemy soldiers were residents of the Tomsk region. Shortly before that, Ukrainian Special Operations Forces captured several dozen Russian Marines in the Kursk region. Particularly, the troops from Russia's 810th Marine Brigade were taken prisoner on the very day Russia was celebrating Marine Corps Day. Recall, Russia said it had captured the town of Chasiv Yar in eastern Ukraine after nearly 16 months of fighting, opening the way for potential further advances. Russia's defense ministry said in a brief statement its forces had liberated the town. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenski dismissed the claim as disinformation. A Ukrainian military spokesperson called it propaganda. But a video posted by a Russian military unit showed a Russian paratroop banner and the national flag being raised by soldiers in the desolate ruins of the town.
A Russian soldier has shared a graphic video from the front line, showing dead bodies of his fellow soldiers who have been killed in a Ukrainian attack. The soldier complained about Russia's war of invasion in Ukraine, saying that hundreds of soldiers are killed in Ukrainian drone attacks on a daily basis on the front line. Showing the dead bodies of Russian servicemen lying in the trench, the wounded soldier explains that Russia's gains in the war are made at a great cost. According to recent data from the US-based Institute for the Study of War, Kremlin has increased its gains in Ukraine in the 4th consecutive month, with Russian forces seizing nearly 5,900 square kilometers between August 2024 and July 2025.
Пивишки, блядь, дроны просто ебут нас всех нахуй, понимаете? Нет? Разъебут по полной нахуй, блядь, сотнями человек в день нахуй, блядь. А вы говорите нахуй, блядь. Россия, блядь, нахуй, блядь, крепкая армия, нахуй, блядь. Вот, нахуй, блядь, смотрите, что все творится, нахуй, блядь. Теперь, нахуй, сука, ебаный рот, вот скажите, нахуй. Нахуй, сука, вам нужна эта ебаная война, блядь, нахуй. Нахуй вам, брат, что блядь, какие-то, блядь, ДНР, ЛНР, блядь, пацаны, сука, гибнут, нахуй, блядь. Видите, нет, сука, что творится, нахуй. И как с этим жить, нахуй? А? ВВ Путин, нахуй, вот скажи мне теперь, блядь, нахуй. Кто, нахуй, их похоронит, нахуй, теперь, блядь? Кто их отсюда вытащит, блядь, а? Смотрите, нахуй, сука, блядь, пидорасы ебаные, блядь. Вот, нахуй, что творится, блядь. Видите, нет? Все, нахуй, их больше, нахуй, нету, ебаный в рот, блядь. Пидорасы ебучие, блядь. Я не знаю, нахуй, как еще, блядь, сколько я пролежусь, сколько, нахуй, я еще выживу тут, блядь. Ну, я надеюсь, это видео, блядь, это мое видео, блядь, будет увидеть все как можно больше, нахуй. Я остался один, блядь, из всех пацанов, нахуй, с кем мы пришли, блядь. держать укреп, нахуй. Мы его взяли, нахуй, ну какой ценой, сука. Это повторяется, блядь, каждый день, блядь, одно и то же, блядь. И погибают, нахуй. И погибают сотнями, сука, молодых ребят, нахуй. На этом все.
The Chinese military conducted a maritime joint patrol with Russian forces on Sunday. According to Associated Press, the joint C-2025 exercise was held in seas near the Russian port city of Vladivostok, which lies across the sea from Japan's west coast. Last year, the drill was held off southern China in the South China Sea. The Chinese and Russian governments have deepened their ties in recent years, with China providing an economic lifeline to Russia in the face of Western sanctions over Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. European leaders asked China again last week to use its influence to pressure Russia to end the war, now in its fourth year, but there was no sign that Beijing would do so. Japan's defense ministry said in an annual report earlier this month that China's growing military cooperation with Russia poses serious security concerns. Zhang said the exercise and patrol are part of an annual cooperation plan and are not aimed at any other country or related to the current international or regional situation.
袭的中国海军西湖船、俄罗斯海军别洛乌索夫号救生船率先离港。随后，中方绍兴舰、乌鲁木齐舰、俄方特里布茨海军上将号大型反潜舰、响亮号轻型护卫舰等依次驶离码头。按照演习方案，中俄海上舰艇编队将演练内容包括援潜救生、联合反潜、防空反检验前期联合筹划为期3天的海上演练、海作战等多个科目演练。离港完毕后，中俄海军舰艇组成混合编队驶向任务海域。双方舰艇建立通信链路，互相通报海区水文气象、海空情况等信息要素。
Putin is dissatisfied with the pace of troop advancement at the front, although he says publicly that everything is going according to plan. This was reported by the TG channel of the Russian Federation, Kremlevskaya Snuffbox, citing a source in the Kremlin. He called Gerasimov, Chief of the General Staff, separately, and Belousov, Minister of Defense, separately. The task is as follows. By September the 1st, show a noticeable result of the advancement at the front. At a minimum, take Pokrovsk and encircle Sumy, says the public's source. The channel's interlocutor added that the reaction of Gerasimov and Belousov is not fully known. According to rumors, someone very influential in Putin's circle is selling him the idea of a new campaign against Kiev or Kharkiv. Although almost all of the high-ranking military consider such ideas to be destructive and deadly, Ukrainian soldiers have been defending Pokrovsk in the Donetsk region for months, killing thousands of Russian soldiers. But now the enemy has gradually approached the city, and judging by geolocations, the first occupiers have even entered the settlement. Last year, the Ukrainian army managed to thwart Russian plans to capture the city. Although Pokrovsk itself is badly damaged and almost 60% of the city's population have left, Ukrainian resistance in Pokrovsk and its surroundings has thwarted Russian ambitions to capture the rest of Donetsk region, which is one of Putin's primary military goals. Although Pokrovsk's importance for Ukraine as a military supply center has already disappeared, the fall of the city could free up Russian troops and open the way for further Russian advances in the region. However, the supply of military equipment from Russian stockpiles decreased by more than 25% in 2024, which could mean a significant reduction in the number of tanks, armored vehicles, artillery systems, and other Soviet-style equipment that is available to the Russian military. According to the Foreign Intelligence Service of Ukraine, North Korea remains the main foreign supplier of ammunition to the Russian Federation. Putin's disagreements with the generals have become more apparent recently due to the Russian army's inability to fulfill its assigned tasks and the growing dissatisfaction of society with this situation. Retired Russian Colonel General Leonid Ivashov, for example, has long regarded Putin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine as a serious blunder. that would harm Russia inside and out. Domestically, the general predicted it would weaken the economy and aggravate the demographic crisis. Outside, he warned it would lose friends for Russia and risk war with NATO, blaming Putin for risking the final destruction of Russian statehood and the extermination of the indigenous population of the country. Ivashov warned the real danger for Russia was not NATO or the West, but the unviability of the state model, the complete incapacity and lack of professionalism of the system of power and administration, the passivity and disorganization of society. Under these conditions, no country survives for long, he wrote.